The year was 1969, and the subject was roses, specifically long-stemmed red roses, about 5,000 of them. Now, this has nothing to do with romance and everything to do with tradition. The tradition was the graduation ceremony at my high school, which was in a very wealthy, very waspy suburb of Chicago. We did not do graduation with cap and gown. The boys were all in tuxedos, and the girls all had to wear long white formal dresses and carry 12 long-stemmed red roses. Now, nobody in the class had anything to do with why this was happening. This was a tradition that was decades old, maybe even a century old. I don't know how old the school was. But we had no input on the ceremony. And I had talked to a lot of the girls, and we're just like, I don't care about the dress thing. I certainly don't care about the roses thing. And it was 69, and I was feeling a little feisty, and I had had several conversations with faculty members and advisors and the dean's office, trying to see if we could just maybe change up the graduation a little bit. I asked if we could wear black armbands in protest of the Vietnam War. Absolutely not. I asked if we could change the venue for the graduation party, which was going to be at the Michigan Shores Club, which 364 days out of the year did not admit anyone who was not sufficiently waspy. Everything was refused. I finally said, okay, what's the one thing that I might be able to influence? The roses. So I asked the dean, could we just dispense with the flowers? And any of the girls who would like to, instead of buying flowers, donate the money they would have spent on flowers to the class gift, which was going to the American Indian Center, they could do that, but nobody has to do that. That would be totally optional. No, we can't do that. I said, why not? I said, this is our tradition. I said, could we vote on it or something? And they said, all right, we will take a vote. So the following Monday morning, I think it was, first thing in the morning in advisory, all the senior girls got a little ballot, and it said for graduation, do you want to carry 12 roses, 6 roses, 3 roses, 1 rose, or 0 roses? I looked at that and I went, oh, smart, divide and conquer. I knew where this was going, and of course, as it turned out, 12 got more than any of the other individual ones, but nowhere near as much as all the ones that said not 12. I wasn't going to give up. So they announced the results, second period. Third period, I turned to someone across the aisle from me in class and said, did you know that the florist we get the roses from is Dean Weingartner's brother-in-law? I went, you're kidding. I went, now we know why the rose thing is going on. Next period, someone turns to me and said, did you know the florist we get the roses from is Dean Weingartner's brother-in-law? I went, you're kidding. Period after, pink slip through the door, Fotopoucos to the dean's office. Well, I mean, they probably figured it was me, but they could not prove it, right? Okay. Fast forward to graduation day. Our class was large enough that we had to have 2 graduation ceremonies, and I was in the second one. I'm upstairs in my bedroom, combing my hair, getting ready, and there's a knock on the door. My mother comes to the door and she says, you need to come downstairs for a minute. I said, why? She said, you just need to come downstairs now. I follow her downstairs holding my white dress, and she takes me out onto the front porch. We had a large front porch. There are hundreds and hundreds of long-stemmed red roses all over the front porch of the house. I went, where did these come from? She goes, I don't know, I just came outside and they were all there. So we're scooping these all up and putting them in the house, and of course there's not enough vases for everything. And we just have to get ready, we gotta get to school because it's time. And I'm in the gymnasium, and we're all lining up alphabetically, and I hear a teacher in the background going, "Where are the roses for the second ceremony?" I think I know. I didn't say anything. They couldn't find anything. So the teachers ran around frantically scooping up all the discarded roses from the first ceremony for people who didn't carry their roses home with them. We ended up having one symbolic rose apiece for all of us in the second ceremony. And I didn't find out until years later that this was all masterminded by a Black student that I had tutored in geometry from the time she was a sophomore, who later became one of the class presidents, and she just wanted to show her support. So, happy roses to all of us.